attack that was aimed at a police station in Mohali. What we understand is that they fired from the rocket-propelled grenade and thereafter fled in a white car from the blast site. So these are details that are just coming in. We're also now learning that perhaps the NIA could be asked to investigate this audacious attack. Let me go across to Amandeep. Amandeep, this was an audacious attack, and it's something that's causing a great deal of worry because the manner in which this happened. This was a RPG attack, and the attackers, we understand, actually fled after firing the rocket.
Absolutely, Nupur. And in fact, we have learned from our police sources, and highly placed police sources, that the attackers spent good amount of time outside the intelligence office. And meanwhile, I can show you the visuals also. This is the building on the right side, and it is just approaching to the road. And in fact, that car, white car, was parked outside the office, in front of the office, and attackers just came down, stepped down from the car. They have fired the RPG and they fled in a white car just from this road as well. This is the escape route of the attackers. And meanwhile, till midnight, Punjab police was trying to find out the RPG launcher, and they have searched the area. That is the reason they have cordoned the entire area nearby the intelligence office, but so far they have not recovered the RPG launcher. But yes, a fresh detail is emerging. A white car was used by the attackers. They spent good amount of time. They have parked the car at a roadside, and then they fired the RPG at 4th floor of the intelligence office, and later they managed to flee from the spot without any intervention of the security. Nupur, the security always remained deployed outside the gate 24/7, and in fact, when the RPG launched, it was a complete failure of the security that they have not spotted the registration number of the car. But yes, it has been cleared by the highly police sources that white car is involved into this attack, and attackers managed to flee from this road as well, just because they parked the car on a roadside. They spent good amount of time outside the intelligence office without any intervention. They stepped down from the car. They fired the RPG on the 4th floor of the intelligence office. They managed to flee in a very smooth manner. And now police is trying to investigate the matter. They are trying to pick up those people who are actually involved into the terror activities, just because one thing is very much clear. The motive of the attackers were to spread the terror among the police. And that is the reason they have fired just in front of
Amandeep, as you're pointing out, this is not just a security failure, it's also an intelligence failure. Thank you for the moment, Amandeep, for joining us. All right, Amandeep, in fact, if I could come back to you, as I was earlier saying, this is also an intelligence failure because, you know, an RPG is actually a shoulder-fired anti-tank weapon system, and there will be a lot of questions as to how this weapon actually reached outside the intelligence office.
Absolutely, Nupur, absolutely. The point is that RPG cannot be fired by a running car. They parked the car on a roadside, and then they stepped down, and in fact, at least 2 persons should be there to fire the RPG with the launcher. It is a shoulder launcher. They have to put it on the shoulder, and then they have to fire. And this is what they did yesterday evening. And the most important point is, Nupur, that they spent good amount of time outside the intelligence office, but nobody was there to question them what they are doing. And when they put out the RPG launcher as well, nobody noticed and nobody questioned them. They smoothly fired the RPG. They managed to flee in a white car. This is the fresh details, and in fact a complete failure of the intelligence as well as the security. If they are not able to secure the intelligence office, how could they secure the people of Punjab, the state that is having a border state adjoining the 600 kilometers border with the Pakistan? This is a big question and big loopholes in the police intelligence as well as the security. Yes,
absolutely. As you're pointing out, security challenges always are high in a border state. Thank you very much. Top sources have now confirmed the Khalistani link to the Mohali rocket attack. Sources tell Republic TV that the role of the wanted pro-Khalistan terrorist Rinda is also under the scanner, and a very active pro-Khalistan ring is involved in this attack. I'm going to go back to Amandeep, who's reporting from Mohali. Amandeep, give us more details.
Well, Nupur, the point is, during the preliminary investigation, it has been cleared yesterday evening itself that a terror attack, it was a clear-cut terror attack, and pro-Khalistani elements were involved into that. And even on the top of the list is Harvinder Singh Rinda and all the gangsters. Basically, the intelligence and Punjab police are now scrutinizing and checking the connections and verifying the role of all the active gangsters in Punjab. And Rinda is on the top of the list of the gangsters just because he is involved into the recent incidents happened in Karnal arrest, in Taran Taran arrest, even the people from the Firozpur arrested in Karnal.
All right, I'm going to come back to you in just a bit. Abhishek is also joining us now. Abhishek, this is not just an audacious attack on the police forces, but it is also something that's extremely worrying.
Well, Nupur, yes, and if you see the series of attacks and terror incidents that have taken place over the last in Punjab, in fact, I won't say a few months, but even a couple of years, a clear pattern emerges of Khalistani terrorists and fugitives of law being harbored by Pakistan and now being used to carry out these separatist and terrorist activities from their soil. So there is a pattern emerging, and agencies believe that this is also an act by one of those cells of Khalistanis activated, possibly going again to Harvinder Singh Rinda, because we have seen in the last 3 instances at least his clear hand. So agencies moving in that direction. This is a serious matter given the fact that a rocket-propelled grenade has been used. This has not happened in Punjab for decades, one would say, and the security agencies are concerned. And that's why we are seeing doubling down in terms of the NIA also joining the investigation. In fact, within a couple of hours, a team of National Investigation Agency had reached the spot and has picked up tabs. It's possible that the case might get transferred ultimately to NIA. But as of now, Punjab Police investigating with the support of central agencies, and a clear link emerging of a Khalistani cell having executed this incident yesterday. Nupur.
Absolutely. Abhishek, not just the fact that this was a rocket-propelled grenade where these attackers actually came out of a white car, they fired this rocket, and nobody appears to have seen them because we don't even know the registration number of the car. But apart from that, this particular building actually housed senior officials with the rank of, about IG rank officials. And not just that, there are questions that are going to be asked about how densely populated this area actually is.
Well, yes, Nupur. So this is an additional aspect of investigation and actually indicates towards the kind of ground support the attackers had or the kind of recce they would have done. So that's an added area of concern which the investigators are looking at. But as I said, till the time that at least a couple of arrests are made, which we are told could be very soon, in fact, today itself, given the trails that they have or the leads they have, I think it's just a matter of time before this case really gets solved. But preliminary investigation and some chatter picked up on surveillance clearly indicates towards a Khalistani cell that was activated, which has executed this, and the police, with the support of central agencies, is moving in that direction.
Absolutely, Abhishek. Also, what's worrying is that the blast comes on the heels of the arrest of a number of suspected terror operatives from Punjab and Haryana recently. For the moment, Abhishek, thank you for joining us.